Hi, Danielle.
Sorry, good morning. Hi, Christina. I was like, why can't I unmute? But I had to like click the button that says recording is okay before I could do anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Kiara should be able to join too.
I think she's coming just now.
Connection
Maybe
problem.
let's pause the recording, Christina, so that they don't get. Perfect. Okay, great. Welcome back, ladies. We are super excited to have you here again with us for our third coaching session. Christina, we can go ahead to skip to the, so welcome back to the BIC Africa Acceleration Program for Female Entrepreneurs. We are, again, glad you are here. So by now, you well know who I am. I'm here to support you throughout this process. If you have questions along the way, feel free to reach out to me. Today, we're talking about another topic that I'm super passionate about, which is storytelling. So let's move on to the next slide, Christina. So before we get into this question, I just want to briefly talk about storytelling. Storytelling is, and Eileen is going to be sharing more about this as we get started, but storytelling is such a passionate topic for me because we all have a story to tell. We all have stories from our past, we have stories from our present, we have dreams for our future that also make up stories. And storytelling is an integral part of how we can start talking about our businesses. But before we get started today, what I would love to hear from you ladies is on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being super confident and 1 being not so confident at all, how confident do you feel to speak about your business? Just pop it into the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel when you need to talk about your business? Good morning, Sandra. Sandra shares 3 out of 10. 7 from Marlene. 3 from Okia. 8 from Ismahan, nice. 9 from Mercy. And Christina, could you actually translate the question for our French ladies, please, so that they can pop into the chat too?
Yes, sure. Oui, la question c'est dans l'échelle de 1 jusqu'à 10, est-ce que vous pourrez numéroter votre confiance quand vous devez parler de votre entreprise, de votre business? Est-ce que vous vous sentez confiante ou pas? Donc, mettez 10 ou en chiffre haut si vous vous sentez assez confiant quand vous devez présenter votre business et en chiffre bas si vous vous sentez pas trop confiant.
Thanks, Christina. So yeah, we have 5 from Josephine. Inez says a 2. So there's a great range of numbers here. We don't have any number 1s and we don't have any number 10s, which is totally fine. And this is an important check-in question because hopefully by the end of today's session, you will increase your confidence a bit in talking about your business because you'll start to realize that the story about your business is also inherently the story about you, about sharing why you're doing the work that you're doing, what made you get into the work that you do, what impact you want to make on the world around you, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, I would love now to introduce our guest speaker for today, our coach for today. Christina, let's jump ahead to Eileen's picture. Oh, that one, you know, yeah. So we have Eileen Moloney with us today. She's also one of the mentors on this program and has been with us since the beginning in the first cohort a couple of years ago. So Eileen, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here with us today to take these ladies through storytelling marketing. So let me hand over to you. You can introduce yourself and start to drive the slides as well.
Thank you, Danielle, and thank you everybody for your presence here. It's great to see you all. I have, as Danielle said, I have been involved with this program since the first cohort and really enjoyed it enormously. It was one of the most rewarding things I did in the course of that year. So I'm really, really, really happy to be here. And I know that Danielle has asked you this question, but I think you also got something to prepare for the session today, and maybe we'll start with that. It is about the why, how, what, but focusing on the why you're doing what you're doing, how this will help your audience or your customer, and what it is that you're offering. And this kind of leads into your mission statement. So I'm looking here at the results of Danielle's question, and Mercy, I'm going to go to you if you wouldn't mind, because you've said you're super confident about talking about your business. So would you like to talk to us about why, what, how, what?
Hi.
Hi.
So I like to talk about my business because it's what I do.
I'm sorry, Mercy.
Oh, let me switch on.
Yeah, if you could switch
okay.
on your video, that would be super.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. So I like to talk about my business because it is my passion and it is my 24/7, 365 job. So I run a garments manufacturing company. We actually manufacture hand woven and hand span fabric, and then we do leather products as well. In our production, we actually work with different women, both urban and rural areas. These are the women who are actually helping us manufacture our hand woven fabric. So our hand woven fabric is actually manufactured using a hand loom, which does not matter where the woman is. Even if it's in the rural area, she's actually able to manufacture our fabric. Why we work with that fabric? Because it is very sustainable. And now we're talking about how do we contribute to the sustainability of the fashion industry. So we work with this fabric because it's very sustainable, it's handmade, it does not require any gas emission, doesn't require electricity for it to be made. And then also we work with these different women and youths because we're also trying to make them financially independent. And then also we're looking at value addition. So in terms of, again, gas emission, we are sourcing our raw materials locally because the cotton is grown in Zambia, it is processed in Zambia. So it helps us actually also to maintain and work with raw materials within our country. But also we started our business because we were looking at how do we reduce the dependence of imported garments as well as fabrics. So when we started our business, it actually started as a home-based business, but now it has actually grown to I can say a factory that is able to produce between 100 and 1,000 garments, depending on what we are producing. So we've actually created employment for 10 permanent workers, and we work with 22 casual workers. And then when we go to the sourcing of the fabrics, actually we work with more than 30 women situated in different parts of the country. And then also we look at offering solutions that last for different industries. So the other products that we work with is leather. So we're actually into production of industrial leather gloves because we are looking at giving the people who are in the mines durable products that can actually protect their hands. So we are just not making garments, but we are looking at providing solutions for different industries as well. And our business started in 2018, like I said, as a home-based business. So it's been 5 years. It's been a journey of learning. It's been a journey of networking. It's also been a journey of actually rebranding our brand. Because when we started, we were just making jewelry And from inception, I can say we've aligned ourselves to making a lot of handmade things, because we started with the handmade jewelry that would make from different types of cutoffs, of materials, as well as also recycled materials. So we have actually grown so much on that, and this is I think what has helped us also to actually even get recognition and awards in terms of being a business that is very sustainable, and also using sustainable words in our production. Right now, the business is expanding, it is growing. Now we are looking at actually investing more into our infrastructure to make sure that we have enough room for our workers, we have enough room for storage, and also we are looking at actually expanding this factory and making a factory that is eco-friendly and green, eco-friendly. And also our other brand is actually an upcycle brand that we call Unkuzipa. So my country basically has...
What is it, the brand called?
It's called Ukuzipa.
Ukuzipa.
Yes, okay. So it means beauty. So we're looking at getting something that was trash and making into a product that is beautiful. So what we do is we actually get secondhand denim, we get secondhand t-shirts, we get secondhand cotton shirts that we dismantle. When we say we dismantle, we redesign them and make something new out of them. So my country actually produces a lot of imported secondhand garments, but we are looking at providing solutions. The secondhand garments is not going to go away, but for us as a business, we look at that as a resource. That's why we work with these recycled materials, and it also gives us this unique selling point, because we do in this brand, we only do a few exclusive cuts because of the different types of fabrics that we work with. So that has been our journey, and I like to talk about it because I enjoy it.
But it's amazing. I mean, you've come since 2018, and you now have expanded your range. You've got 10 full-time and some casual workers. Did you say 20?
22.
22. I mean, that's an amazing story. And can I just ask you very briefly, and I know because we'd like to hear as many stories as we could. What is your own background, and how did you come to start the business?
So I'm actually a journalist by profession. So as I was growing,
storytelling is no problem.
Yeah, as I was growing up, I was so much into fashion. I think even my mom would actually, I used to be at a Catholic school, so every time we go on break, I would make sure I now wear my garments that I redesigned, my jewelry. So my mom would always ask me, why do you like dressing like this? But you know, in my tradition, every time somebody asks you, what do you want to study? So I told them it's either I want to be a model or I want to be an air hostess. But my dad would say, no, you can't. You have to choose something else. So the only thing that was close to my passion was actually journalism. So that's how I went into journalism. So I actually worked for a newspaper printing company, and I only worked there for 2 years because I realized that that was not my passion. And then I went into the marketing space with an IT company. That's where I actually learned and built my sales skills, my marketing skills. So even as I went into the selling of garments. So again, let me tell my other story. So when I was pregnant with my second child, I was working for a telecommunication company. And then when I went on maternity leave, the department that I was working in was actually sourced by another company. So it was outsourced by another company. So they had actually cut like our salaries in half. So even when they were calling me back, I think my son was like 2 weeks old. I declined the job offer and said, I can't leave my small boy to just go and work for little money. So I stayed home. But as I stayed home, I didn't just relax. I looked at what type of business can I do for me to have an income, even as I apply for jobs and wait for jobs. So I started ordering garments from South Africa. And then when my child was a bit older, I would actually do cross-border. I would travel to South Africa, go and source for these garments and come and resupply to different type of institutions, as well as different type of customers. But the biggest challenge was size. I realized that most of the women were actually on a bigger side, or they wouldn't actually fit in some of the garments that I would bring, and they would complain. So I looked at, how do I include these women into my supply chain? So I sat down and looked at the market that I was operating on, and I realized that actually Zambia didn't have a lot of garments manufacturing companies. So I decided to go into that space. That's how the dream of Queen of Chitenge Fashion Limited was born, actually.
Okay, so I think just maybe if I might, Marcy, just to enhance the why part of it, I'd pick one or other of those stories as my starting point. The one in school where you were always dressing up and doing this and whatever, and this is kind of what led you in, because it just gives us a little bit more insight into you as the person, because we know all about your business and it's fantastic and that's great. But I think if you can stitch something in that just tells us a little bit more about you. And when you're storytelling, and this is for everybody, when you're storytelling, you as the founder of your company, you don't have to be the center of the story. You can make it about somebody else if you like. These are called the characters in your story, or you know who the story is about. So I think a little bit of yourself in there would be really, really good. I'd like to hear that. And if I may now, Ismahan, you were up there as well with a high score. If you'd like to just tell us a little bit about your business. Good job, Marcy. Thank you. Is Ismahan with us?
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
Good.
I have some internet issue.
Okay.
So sorry if I cut it.
Okay, maybe I'll just take this moment to show you a little video, if I may. Is that okay, Danielle?
Yep, that's perfectly fine. You'll just have to share your screen, Eileen.
Okay, that's fine. Can you see that?
No, not yet.
No.
No. Oh, I haven't done share screen, have I?
Eileen, just meanwhile, there was a comment in the chat from Josephine in French, who was saying that she's really passionate about what she does, the transformation of fruit. So she shared that this enables her to be financially independent, but also enables to contribute to the well-being and health of other people, because she's offering an alternative to snacks which are, let's say, full of sugar and fat, and propose something that is rather healthy, a healthy form of snack that comes from fruit, if I get that right. But Josephine, please feel free to add anything to that if you wish.
Josephine, do you want to add anything there? I think I have to, let me just bring up this, I'll just see if I can share my screen here.
Hello, I am here.
Hi, Josephine.
Hi.
If you would like to complement anything that I said, that I tried to translate from what you wrote, please go ahead.
Sorry, I'm having some difficulty with the screen share. Sorry, that's just a real shame. I'm just wondering if I could, if there's any other solution.
Is it not allowed, Eileen, or you're just unable to find the screen?
I just wonder if I could maybe take just one moment to maybe forward
The link?
the link. Yeah, would that be okay?
Yeah, of course. If you even want to drop the link in the chat, then maybe Kiara can open it from her side and share her screen. Or Christina even.
Yes. And sorry, Eileen, are you trying with the share your screen, the green icon?
Yes.
And it's not working.
It's not working.
Okay.
Graham and I established Walker Hearington in 2016. Graham had qualified in...
Sorry, Eileen, can you try now? I modified your role. Maybe now it should work.
Okay.
Eileen?
Yes.
Is the green button still not working? Because I just modified your role. Maybe it's changed, but
no, it's okay, but for some reason it just won't let me share my screen.
Okay.
So oh dear, that's just a shame.
No worries.
I will try to send maybe see, I can't open a website from here, can I?
You can. You should be able to share your, like, whether you're using Chrome or Internet Explorer or whatever.
I'm using Safari, and I wonder if that's the problem.
No, it should still allow you, if you go to share screen and then choose the application that you want to share.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to spend any more time on that. If there is like a 5-minute break or something, I may be able to do something. But right now, I think we'll just carry on without it.
Eileen, is the link in the presentation eventually or not?
No, it's not.
No. Okay. Good. Well then.
That's okay. Sorry there. Ishmahan, did you want to come back to us?
Yeah, I'm
Great.
here. Okay, I wanted to share while I'm starting the business, the hard decision I ever made that day. So the hard decision I ever made was that day to leave my job and start my own job. Before started my own business, I have another job like real estate. I'm working on it. So when I'm taking that decision, it was a decision that required careful concentration and took a significant amount of courage. I knew that taking this step will bring uncertainty and added responsibility. So, however, I also recognized that it was an opportunity for personal and professional growth. While I'm taking that decision, I have shouldered responsibility for my family and also my own education. So that decision was particularly challenging because it only impacted my own decision and career, but also had an implication for my families. That time is like 2020. It was a grandfather's day. My grandfather passed away while I'm leaving my job and starting that time. So during this time, I remember feeling a mix of fear and excitement. I will wake up in the middle of the night and pray for guidance and the strength to face the challenge ahead. I firmly believe that with perseverance and hard work, so I could overcome any obstacle that come my way. The first order I made it was successfully, and that time is the 8th day, the holidays. So I made it like easily. Ultimately, I took the leaps and start my own business. So it required giving my all and putting it extra effort to ensure its success. Looking back, it was a decision that shaped me on profound way. It taught me like resilience and the ability to navigate through uncertain time. So it was a wonderful journal. Now I have no regret. It has been a journal filled with the both troubles and setbacks.
And tell me, what is the business, Ishmahan?
My business is art store and also the place to learn art.
Okay, so is it a retail store?
Yeah, it's a retail store. So
Okay.
I'm offering the art education and accessibility art supply. I provide the Somali community with the tools and knowledge needed to engage in artistic endorsement.
Okay. Good. And how is the business going?
Now my business is a start. I want to expand this year, inshallah. So I'm looking the partner who invests and collaborate to expand my business.
Okay, and you're looking for somebody to invest?
Yeah.
Okay, so good. So the just the elements of the storytelling. You know, ideally we have in the why, how, what. We like to describe the crisis, the struggle, the resolution. So was the crisis for you that you did not want to work for another organization yourself? And the struggle was a bit how you had all the turmoil with your grandfather passing and all everything around that. And finally, the resolution is that you set up your store and you come out the other end. Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, in Somalia, we don't have the Somali art store. So while I'm leaving my job, I saw the opportunity. Somali artists don't have access to get the education of art and also the place they can store it. So
Okay.
I want to fill that gap. I do that. This is my business.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ismahan. Thank you very much. Maybe we'll just take one more story for now. And are there any of you who have teams, or are you all sole entrepreneurs? Are there any teams in the group?
Yeah, I have a team, the 5. We are working in the 5 team. The 2 of them is the artist, 1 of them is the finance, and the 2 is the marketing.
Okay. So my question was really, does anybody have a co-founder, somebody who set up the business with you at the same time?
No, I'm the one as a co-founder.
Okay. Do you know, Danielle, if anybody has a co-founder?
I'm actually not sure. Aiden's raised her hand, so maybe Aiden has.
Oh, Aiden, okay.
Indeed.
Can you share with us your story?
Yes, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I set up the business in 2019 in Norway as part of an incubator program. And as part of the program, they matched us with co-founders. So I started the business with a Syrian and a Spaniard and a Jamaican, actually, but he left after some time. But now we're 4 founders. Me and Kusai, my Syrian co-founder, we've been together since the beginning. And we have 2 new co-founders, one from Austria and one from Japan.
Great. So tell us your story.
Our founding story?
Yeah, well, your story, the why, the how, the what. What was the driver to get you started? How did you come together? That sort of thing.
So we came together through the incubator program that we all applied to individually, at least me and Kusai. But once we were in Norway, they paired us together and they said we did a lot of research as to what makes an amazing co-founding team. So they really assessed like our background, our skill set, our expertise, our interests, and me and Kusai had complementary skills, I guess. And he, which is quite funny because we both have technical backgrounds, but it's true that personality-wise, we're completely different. So he's like very good. He's an influencer, so he's very good with marketing. And I just like to be behind the scenes and I like to work hard. So that's kind of how we complement each other. And we decided to work on our business idea because the incubator program told us to pick any challenge to work on as long as it was aligned with the SDGs. And I took a gap year in a refugee camp. Kusai was a former refugee, so it just made sense that we would work on this issue. And we were very ambitious, so we wanted to tackle all issues that refugees were facing, like mental health, education, employment, and so on. And our mentor at the time told us, just focus on one and be really good at it, like be really successful, and then you can branch out to something else. So that's kind of how we decided to focus on the cause area that we're working on.
So did you when you signed up for the incubator, you didn't have the business idea at that stage?
No, we didn't.
Okay. So it's slightly different because you're coming not together with the business idea, but coming together first and then finding the business idea. But tell us what it is and what you're doing.
Yeah, so it's a career development platform that helps refugees find access to meaningful jobs. By meaningful, I mean jobs that align with their area of expertise and not just sticking them in different industries as host governments do. We also have an e-learning platform called Nakwish, which is in Arabic. And this is basically like a mini version of Coursera. And we partnered with Coursera for quite a few years. And then we decided once the pandemic hit that we wanted to do our own thing. And we got a lot of funding to build our own education platform. The third thing we do is mental health counseling. So we provide access for refugees. We provide access to counselors to refugees virtually. And as of last year, we're working on an incubator program for female refugees in Kenya and Jordan, helping female refugees build their own business from scratch. And we're focusing on this fourth service, you can say, because me and my co-founders have been through a lot of programs and different initiatives that have really enabled us to learn different parts of entrepreneurship journey, and we want to give back to the community. So there was always a reason for all the different services that we do. Like employment, we started out with employment because we believed it was our strong suit. Me and Kusai, my co-founder. We went to education because when the pandemic hit, millions of refugee children were forced out of school, and we said enough is enough, and we need to do our own thing. We can't keep relying on our partners to provide courses that aren't tailored to their needs. The mental health, refugees reached out to us and they said, it's great that you're providing these services, but we're really struggling with trauma and loss, and we have to step back from the program because we have a lot to deal with. And we said, well, is there something we can do? And then we partnered with Parla, which is a UK-based mental health company that provides
what is
access.
the company? Sorry, what is the company?
Which one?
The company you partnered with in the UK.
Parla.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they provide affordable mental health, affordable healthcare access to minorities. They had never worked with refugees before, mostly with like people of color and people with disabilities and so on, but they were interested and we had similar visions. So we fronted the cost and refugees got free access to counselors in the UK virtually. Like if you know BetterHelp, it's a US company, it's a similar business model, except they don't pay. So that's basically what we do to this point.
It's very interesting.
Thank you.
And what kind of successes have you had? Because this is one of the, I presume you built, or you or your team members built the tech platform.
Yeah, we built it with the help of refugees because we really wanted to walk the talk, because we partnered with lots of big companies saying like, we have really talented refugees. So they built the education platform for us, the mental health, and the incubator program that we're building. Doesn't really need a tech platform, but yeah, we usually see if there are any refugees on our platform who can build it. If not, then we outsource.
Oh, it's a great story. Have you told the story before to this group?
Yeah, I think like our origin story is quite powerful. I didn't share that now. That's something that I've always been struggling with our mentor. It's like, she always says, you guys have a great origin story, but you don't tell it, and you're an impact business. So that's the heart of the business, and you should learn how to communicate that properly. So we actually did a document called The Reason Why. Okay. And this is basically about our purpose, our reason. We didn't build the business because we got together in Norway and we were part of an incubator. We built the business because of what we went through. Kusai as a refugee, me living in a refugee camp, what we saw and how this is like existing in all host countries around the world, this huge gap, and what the what the problems are, that come with this gap existing. It's not just refugees that are suffering, it's the host countries are also suffering by not utilizing the potential of refugees.
Absolutely. So, I couldn't agree with you more. Here it's a huge problem as well in Ireland and in the UK. And I guess it's the same everywhere else. But I would love to hear your story. I think it's really powerful. It's impactful. It's really, really worthwhile. And I think if you could start to work on that, I mean, you actually have it documented.
Yeah.
You know, you've it documented. So if you can just articulate it, I think that it would be very profound.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the document, we created it because we struggled to put it on our website, like our story, our pitch deck. We really struggled to put our story there. Every time investors or anybody asked us about our business, it was, oh, we have a platform that does this, this, this. And our mentor's like, no, start from the why. What pushed you to work on this business? What did you see? What did you feel? And it was a lot. So we had to condense it into, 3 pages or something. And that's the reason why I document. But again, it doesn't really tell the emotions that we had when going through it. So basically the document tells a story about how in 2017, Africa experienced the worst refugee crisis in history. More than 2 million South Sudanese refugees were fleeing to neighboring countries. And I was studying abroad at the time, studying my bachelor's. And I heard about it through a press conference on YouTube, like the UN press conference. And I was extremely devastated by what was happening. And I decided to take a gap year. And this gap year almost revoked my full scholarship because, in Asian and African culture, gap years are unheard of and they're very frowned upon. So when I was in India and I told them I need to take a gap year, they were like, you can go, but don't expect to come back and still have your full scholarship. So it was a really horrible time. And I had to compromise with them because they didn't understand that this is a human emergency. It is an emergency to me. And I can't continue with my education unless I know that I am supporting in one way or the other. And I should also give context. I grew up in a very poor community where there was many immigrants and refugees, and they helped me out a lot when I was growing up. So I really felt like I felt like it was my calling to go back. And so at the end I agreed, we had a compromise, and then I went back to Ethiopia, to the southern part where we have a region that borders South Sudan, and I volunteered there for a year. I wasn't working with any NGO or organization. I just had my own thing. I went to teach because I was very passionate about teaching. But it turns out that refugees are extremely talented and hardworking. And what they need is not education. They need access to labor markets. So I set up a learning resource center with a host community member. And we trained refugees from Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, Tanzania, many countries from across the continent. And they were, computer scientists, professors, lawyers, really interesting people. And unfortunately, even though Ethiopia has an open door policy, they often refuse to give refugees, a valid work permit. I mean, back then in 2017, Ethiopia didn't have a proclamation for refugees. Now they do. They set it up in 2019. But back then it was a very gray zone, and refugees just struggled a lot to find jobs. And I know that, like you said, it's a reality in many countries, not just in the global South. So this learning resource center was to help them become digitally literate, because freelancing changed my life, and I really wanted to introduce it to them so that it could change theirs. And it seemed to work quite well. Yeah, it seemed to work quite well, and it was a really big success. More than 300 people were trained through this learning resource center, and they were able to find jobs online. They were able to build their CV for the first time and do many things. But at the end of the year, I had to go back to my university as promised. But it left a huge impact on me because the time that I spent in the gap year was a really horrible time for me personally, because no one in my family wanted to speak to me. And you would think that living in a refugee camp, people are struggling and people are suffering, but they have so much resilience that they gave me resilience, and they gave me hope. And I felt like, okay, now it's my mission in life to always give back to them. So I left the refugee camp with this really strong desire to continue supporting refugees on all fronts, not just those in Ethiopia, but those globally, creating a platform, because technology changed my life, it changed their lives, and it can change the lives of many people. And and then a year later, I heard about this incubator program in Norway, which was like, do you want to become an entrepreneur? And I was like, oh my God, it's perfect for me. And it was very aligned with the SDGs. I feel very strongly about the SDGs. So yeah, so it all came together in the end, which I'm really proud of.
It is a fantastic story. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I think it's one that should be certainly documented in the story piece. I mean, the tech platform's grand, you know, but it's just that. But it's the whole your objectives and your whole passion around this area, because it's very, very real, and it's going to become more and more important. So how transferable is your technology? Have you tried it in other locations, or shared it with other countries?
Yeah, I mean, the vision behind the platform was that it wouldn't be tied to any geographic location. And like, obviously we made it in English so that it could be accessible to all, but a lot of refugees on our platform struggled to use it because they only speak Arabic. And that's when we started translating the platform to make it more accessible. Our mentor also tried to tie us into one different region, because he was like, building a global platform is very hard. Just start with one country or one region. And then we said, okay. And we started with Lebanon, because that's where my co-founder was living as a refugee. So he saw firsthand the need for this platform in Lebanon, where there are many, many Syrian refugees who are extremely talented like him. He's an electrical engineer, and he struggled to find a job. When there are jobs, but there's so much like xenophobia and bureaucracy and racism that prevents him from getting a job. So we started with Lebanon. We talked to partners there. We talked to Norwegian Refugee Council, IOM, UNHCR, and then we started expanding in the region, accepting people from Jordan, from Syria, from Turkey, and then we went south to Africa. So it started with one country and then a region, and then, you know, it just became kind of a global platform. Now the platform reaches refugees in 90 countries around the world. We're not super active in South America and Asia Pacific, and that's something that's we have a market expansion strategy. It's called 2023, 2025. So over the next 2 years, we're going to really focus. I mean, we've got some funding to focus on those in Colombia and Venezuela and Brazil, and those in the Asia Pacific as well, and Bangladesh and other countries, in Malaysia as well. We know quite a few refugees there who are looking for jobs. So yeah, now the vision is that it's becoming quite global. If you see our pitch deck at the last slide, it says our vision by, I think it's 2025, is to become operational in every refugee hosting country in the world, which is almost every country in the world. So it's quite ambitious.
Certainly is. It's an amazing story. I'm really, it's incredibly impressive. And thank you for that, Eden. So I think, Chiara, have you put some website in here? Invicta.org, was that Eden's application?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I see Chiara is asking if you know Berry Tech in the Lebanon.
Yeah, I was just responding. I don't know them. I haven't heard of them.
A guy called Nicholas Rohana, good guy, and he's very much involved in investing and so on. And they'll probably be able to support you. But you know, just to put that story out there, it is amazing.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. I'll look them up and I'll reach out to them.
Great. So just on the other scale, so we I'll come back to Marlene later. But Inez, you were suggesting you had some difficulty around telling your story, but that may be how you see it. That may not be how we see it. So would you like to share your story with us?
Hi,
Hi, Inez.
my name is Ferdosa.
Oh, sorry, but did you reply to Danielle's question?
Here,
Okay, never mind. Let's hear your story, Fardosa.
okay. My name is Ferdosa, and I'm from Somalia, and I am the founder of Those Gifts, my company offers personalized gifts. So I started my business September 2020 as online after much effort and get a training about entrepreneurship, local and internationally, and saving money. I opened a shop, and I have a shop now. Before I started as online, the reason I started my business is to support my family. Second, to inspire the youth and to be independent. And there is so my target audience is the graduation students, the newly married couple, and also the friends who give gifts as a birthday, and also starting relationship.
Okay, Fardosa. So you started the business to make yourself more independent and to be your own boss.
Yeah, to be more independent, to inspire the youth, and also to support my family.
Okay, okay. So how is that working out? Is it successful?
Yeah. Now it's successful, but I saw so many difficulty stories of my business, like shipping, also so many things that I can't get, but much effort and research, I get all the things that I need, and now the thing is I'm surgeon is to get an investment to expand my business.
Okay, and how much investment do you need?
15,000 investments.
Okay. And so how do you promote the business, Fardosa? What sales channels do you use?
I use Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So every day I post videos and pictures, a good visualization pictures and videos, and also put my stories as a daily and to promote and to get more customer.
Okay. And what is the most effective channel for you to advertise?
TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by this, but because I knew it was happening, but it would be very unusual in Ireland anyway, to use TikTok as a means of advertising. But it seems to be, there was an article on our local radio this morning saying that most young people get their information through TikTok, and if it's something like a serious news story, they go to some other platform to fact check it. So that's interesting. Thank you, Fardosa.
Yeah, TikTok is more popular than Facebook and Instagram nowadays. So if you put a video and you have small flowers, the people who watched your video is more than your flowers. Maybe you have a 20K flowers, and you put a good visualization video. So the views will be 328K and above. So it's a more popular than Facebook and Instagram.
Wow.
I get so many customers, so many customers. You know, if my business grow fast, it's because of TikTok.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I know Ayan, who's with us on the call. I know that you're another TikTok fan, Ayan. Would you like to join us, Ayan? Tell us about your business.
Where?
Sorry, Ayan Ahmed.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Hello.
And I see your home of gifts. Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Ayan. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good, good, good. So would you like to share your story with us?
Yeah. My business is a creative digital agency.
So you're going to tell us why you started the business first.
Okay. Our journey begins with simple but powerful realization that within the tools and technique of digital world lies limitless possibility. And I was so passionate for designing, for graphic design, web designing, and also digital marketing. This together comes in 2022 to form what will become a stance and creative digital agency. And I start to work online from home after with just my laptop. And this comes after I joined Summit Innovation Lab and I gained skills and confidence needed to turn my passion into business. And our first client was a travel agency that needed help with social media promotion and poster designing. Although a small fast project, but it remains as of the impact we could make through digital means, connecting this business to more customers and telling its story in visual, compelling way. And now we rent small office, and it's a sign of our growing commitment to each other. And we work different clients. We provide services like graphic design, digital marketing, web designing and development, and motion graphics. And this starts as something new while giving life to our clients' vision. And as our clients' list grow, so to do our dreams for the future, but we will not lose sight of how our journey begins.
Okay, great. Thank you. We might do a little bit more work on this, on your story in one of our mentor sessions, because I think if you take the, we talk about the essential elements of storytelling, the crisis, the struggle, the resolution. In your case, what you're wanting to create beautiful things for people in terms of visuals and promotional displays and websites and so on. But then if you tell us a little bit about the problem that the small business owners have is they don't have these skills, and yet they want to get their business out there in front of their prospective customers, and you're helping them to do that. So we might build something around that story, and work on it a little bit, just to fine tune it. I'm just wondering, Danielle, do you have any comments, or would you like to see things go in a different direction, or what can give us some feedback so far?
No, I think this is great. It's a great opportunity for the ladies to share their stories, because although they've had these small breakout rooms where they get to learn more about one another, we haven't ever done it like this on the whole, like with the whole group. So I think this is the first time that we're learning in detail a lot more about what the women are doing and why they're doing it.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's great so far, and whatever you have planned next, I'm sure is equally as amazing.
Okay, so I might go to, I would really like to give everybody a chance to tell their story. And that's why I didn't go back to the slides. I mean, the slides you can see in your own time. I do have just 2 websites I wanted to access, if that's possible, through somebody else's screen.
Yeah, so Eileen, for the websites, I think if you can put the, if you see the chat box, if you can put the links inside the chat box, then we can open them up through our screen. And I think it's a great idea for us to allow all of the women to share theirs. I know Marlene would like to share hers. Inez, I think, also wanted to share hers, so we have time.
Yeah, okay. Well, in any event, I have some other little videos that I will send on to you, Danielle, and you can distribute them. They're just very good storytelling examples. Sure. And they're all people I know. They're all clients, actually, who have really done extraordinary things in a very kind of, from very humble beginnings, and develop something extraordinary. So I would like to share those, but while I'm putting the websites in here, I would like to hear Marlene's story, because Marlene, I think you gave us an 8 out of 10 for your storytelling. So, but it's great to hear what everybody's doing. I think it's fabulous.
Definitely.
So, Marlene, let's go.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. I won't put my camera because the internet is really bad.
We can see your beautiful face.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm Marlene, and I live in Angola. I'm from Angola, and I'm 40. I think I'm the oldest in the group, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yes. I've been working for more than 14 years in processing industry, like for food. I had experience on steel processing also in Angola, but mostly in food factories. And I have worked at trade business too, like importation, exportation. And then on 2019, actually in 2017, I worked for 1.5 years for one group that had their headquarters in one very unprivileged area. So it's beside a public market. And it was killing me going there everywhere to work, because the conditions that I used to see in rude of people, like the youth taking small portions of whiskey in the morning, and then you see on another side the unprocessed and unsold vegetables that are thrown every day because no one was there to process. And I love dried fruits, so it was killing me for 1.5 years. I couldn't stand, just to see how the youth doesn't have opportunity in my country. So I decided to open Food Care. Food Care is a food processing company. We exist for more than 3 years. We process African traditional products. So to the whole process, I was looking for what I could start, considering the conditions that I had at the moment. And I just picked all the traditional food that basically have been sold in a public market without any sanitary conditions, and we process it according international standards level. So we are also exporting since December 2022. We have 15 permanent workers, but we are 36 with the part-time people. We struggle a lot with internal issues. We have been traveling, advertising our business, our products we are selling to Europe. We are now processing to US market. But our biggest challenge is really inside with permanent training. We give training to people, but there is basic education that is not given since we are born, that people don't capture well. You need to be all the time reinforcing. You don't leave the level where you are. You wanna grow and push everyone with you, but sometimes you need to let them where they are because they can't grow it. So this is kind of things that kills me. And another thing is the governmental institutions. It's always a battle when we need to deal with documentations. It should be a smooth process. They should be there to support us, but sometimes we feel that they are pushing us back. Yeah, but we're still here fighting, and I hope many other good people and young people can do what we are doing, because we need to start to process our food. We import most of the products that we eat, and we are oil dependent. So right now we are facing a huge inflation just because the issues of the war outside, as we import everything, so we struggle. Yes, this is my story. Thank you so much.
Wow. Marlene, tell me, where do you source the produce?
Sorry?
Where do you source your produce?
To the supermarkets, end users, and the exportations.
Yeah, where do the goods come from?
Where's the good? Okay, from the farmers. I work with farmers.
Okay.
Yeah, I buy from farmers, mostly women. And yes, we have a facility now that is really becoming really a big facility industry.
So you have a team of 15 people?
Yes.
And you are the CEO?
I'm the CEO, yes.
The chief person. And then do the other members of your team, do they go to the farmers as well, or do you just have the relationship with the farmers?
No, I'm the one first doing the relationship with farmers, because we need to sign a contract. There is ways that they need to follow. So we need to meet international standards. So I'm the one doing the approach, and then once they have the training, how they need to prepare the vegetables. So the team is going there to pick. So today we are receiving I think 120 kilos of fresh oyster mushrooms. Yeah. Wow. And they know, things like that, and it has been 3 years. We have this already established, and it's working well, but it's too hard.
But it's too hard because there's too much for just your company to do?
Yes.
Is that the issue?
The issue is that you need to build everything. I think if it's a startup in Europe, in America, for 3 years, for the effort that we have been doing, we should be far from where we are. You need to build everything. So we have suppliers for everything that we have now, but that first year, there was a time that we didn't have products. So the problem is the process is too hard, and it requires extra investment, even for the farmers to produce for you, for the installation. So if I need to set up a business in Europe, the facility, the installation infrastructure is there. In Angola, you need to build the water tanks, everything. You need to have like a generator. It's too hard because of you need to build everything around your your operations. Yeah, that's why it's hard.
And so are you say your oyster mushrooms, for instance, are they organic?
Yes, they are organic.
Okay, so is all your produce organic?
All, yes, I'm going to apply for the organic certification now. All my products are organic.
Okay. So when you sell them into the supermarkets, you can get a higher price.
Well, here we don't, there is no such a difference here. There is no this, yeah. We don't have this, people don't have this knowledge here yet. That's why we run to be selling outside so that we can really grow, because I know the value of the goods being organic it has outside.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what you're doing is it's really, it's great, but I can appreciate all the difficulties because you have to have a contract with the farmer. You have to have a contract with the supermarket or the stall or wherever the vegetables are being sold. Is that right?
It is right, exactly. And from the farmers, I need to pay, and for the supermarkets, I need to wait for 20 to 40 days to pay. Yeah, it's like we're a bank.
40 days from the supermarket.
Yeah, sometimes longer.
Yeah. So what you really need is very high volume.
Yeah, this is why we were running to get the certification like HACCP for Europe and FDA approved. Yeah, so that we can export. And we are starting now to have this kind of volume, luckily.
But I love your why, which is, that you were exposed to all these awful practices in the factory, and there was no regard for health and safety, no sanitization of the, or the workers, and everything was being handled several times without any caution.
Yes.
So you want to make your world a healthier.
Yes. I believe this is why we in Africa, we don't live a lot. We don't know what we eat. We don't know. Yeah.
So is it difficult to make money?
Yes. Here is difficult. Why? I'm fighting with public markets. It's products that we consume mostly every day, and it's found in the market. So, and when the people see it packed, they think is foreign people doing, and they don't see the value of why do I need to buy if I'm buying from the supermarket, but it's processed in without conditions, but they are not aware of. Yeah, and of course we are living with a financial crisis, and I understand why. That's why we run for the international market, for the diaspora that is there looking for our products, and we are selling well outside.
Well, it's very noble. It's great, but I can see all the issues, because you're out of pocket when you go to the farmer because you have to pay there and then.
Yes.
Wait until you get paid from the supermarket or the stall or whatever it is that you're selling into. But I think you're hitting a lot of, you're hitting all the right notes on impact and sustainability and health. Health is such a huge issue now, that it really is at the forefront of everything that entrepreneurs all around the world are trying to do. So let me see. who we've had Fardosa, Marlene, I am Mercy, Chantal.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hi. Can you hear me clearly?
Pardon?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, that's better. Would you like to share your story with us?
Yeah, sure. Yes, I'm Chantal Udukunda from Rwanda, and our company aims to improve aquaponics and hydroponics with community-based agritourism. So the reason,
sorry, Chantal, is that agritourism? What?
Yes, I'm saying we do aquaponics and hydroponics with community-based agritourism. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So the reason why we've chosen, the reason behind initiating this company is because of how we grow up in the families where they have no land, and then for them to get food on the table was really hard. And we thought of a way of how can we use the smaller land we have to increase crop production, and so that our family can get food on the table at the same time get food or sell to the market. So we came up with the idea of aquaponics and hydroponics, where we'll be using a smaller land, because most of our families have smaller lands, but with we have many children, and the land isn't enough for cultivating. So using that smaller land to get food at the same time, because we thought of bringing using smaller land at the same time harvesting many times during the year, because we can't wait for the seasons. In Rwanda, we have 3 seasons. So we plant for 3 seasons. So we're like waiting for the season, another season. It's kind of hard for the person having like smaller land or small plot of land. That's why we come up with hydroponics and aquaponics, so that it can be harvesting like twice or more than twice a year. And
is that your background, Chantal?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Me, myself?
Yeah.
Not the company?
No, yourself.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, I'm Chantal. I'm the CEO of Inzora Agritourism, and I'm a graduate from African Leadership University. I pursued global challenges, and yes, our company started in 2021, and I started it with the mission of increasing crop production in my family, based on the background I faced in our families. So that's why I come up with aquaponics and hydroponics. And then later I thought of agritourism. So the reason why I come up with agritourism, I thought of a way we can bring in farmers, increase income for farmers, at the same time keeping my project sustainable. So the reason behind this, I've explained, because of our family background, the lack of enough land for our families to put food on the table, and also our neighbors' families, farmers don't have enough land. So we thought of, for those who doesn't benefit from aquaponics and hydroponics, can benefit from agritourism. So we partnered with hotels, restaurants, and for now we have we were working with one district, which is Rwanda in Rwanda, and we are expecting to expand it from across Rwanda, like in the whole district, and expand it later in outside Rwanda. So I can say we are having few customers. We are now
looking into marketing. We have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, and we are marketing our product. We have even a website where we partner with restaurants and hotels. If there are some tourists that want to go do agriculture-based tourism, we partner with them. They give it to us, and then we go give them a tour. We've hosted an event for agriculture with the women in rural areas. And of course, we don't have enough money. So the woman who won the prize received $500. That is our budget, and that's what we can offer. For now, we are trying to generate income by selling our product from aquaponics and hydroponics. At the same time, getting income from tourism, but it's not that much. So we are looking to expand more and marketing more of our activities. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Chantal. So what difference has this made to your family?
Sorry?
What difference has this made to your family?
Oh, of course, for my family, we no longer wait for like, we plant in summer. No, we harvest in summer and also in mid-January or December. So we no longer wait for that. Like we always have a food on the table, not only my family, even my neighbors. So we no longer wait for, of course we have the land to plant, we wait for that, and but it has helped us to have like monthly income for the family. We know this, if we plant mushrooms, it will be like this month we generate this income, next month. So we have stable income generation for a month, and we don't expect like we'll be like we no longer affected by climate changes. It'll be like if we harvested beans maybe this season, we are expecting 20 or 30 kgs because of sun. For that, we no longer worry about that because of using this. So I can say the family income has increased, and we every day we have food on the table. Like it's not like it was before.
Oh, that's a great story, and your own background allows you to promote this. And I'm just wondering about the tourism aspect. That's something that you could build on. I don't know I don't know where most of your tourists come from. Can you say where most of the tourists to your area come from?
We like I said, they come around the world, but mostly we partner with this tourism company and also hotels. So we share, we agreed, like we share the income. If you give us this, if we earn this amount from tourism or from the guests you've given us, we give you this %. So we get them, we partner with the restaurant, tourism company and the restaurant. So we use those staying at the hotels or motels. And for the tourism company, it's hard for them to give us their guests unless for them they want to do agriculture-based tourism. So we mostly partner with hotels and motels or restaurants. So we get them from that side.
It's a great idea, and that area of the business is probably the one that you could grow, that you've most potential to grow in, because you could also set up training programs to educate other younger people coming up behind you.
Yes, actually we are looking for funding to not only younger people, only other farmers, because in Rwanda, most of the people, 70% of the Rwandan population depend on agriculture, and not all of them have the land. So we are looking into training farmers so they can like produce those crops by themselves using the small land they have, and also train young females and males who wish to
That is fantastic. I mean, I would be surprised if you couldn't get some sort of government support to do that, because it's a real benefit to the communities if you can train people up. So I don't know. I'd love to talk to you about it a little bit more. But it's great what you're doing. Your family must be delighted with you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thanks, Chantal. Asna, are you happy to share your story with us?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. So nice to be with you today. Since the last 3 weeks I have been abroad, so it was quite difficult to connect with the team, and I really miss you.
Oh, well, I'm sure they're all very happy to hear that and very happy that you're back. So great.
Thank you.
We're dying to hear from you because I know you have a good story to tell. So if you could share that with us, Asna, that would be super.
Yes, with a great pleasure. So, well, as you know, my name is Asna. I am 48 years. I'm 48 years old. So not so. Sorry.
So you're older than, was it Marlene said she was?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm quite proud, actually.
Can we see you, Asna, or do you have internet?
Yeah. My camera looks like it is off, but I on it here, so I don't know why it is.
Don't worry.
It is on. It is on for me. Yeah. So I don't know about you.
Right.
So I am 48 years old, and I have 3 kids. My first one is 24. Who just 24, and she finished last year the school at Hague Montreal. The second one, who's 22, just finished in Berkeley in California, and the third one is in the Sorbonne now at the 3rd year. So why am I talking about the kids is because I wanted actually to really bring the kids in the level of education that I know that when I will be able to go on my business, I will not have to worry about the children. That was one of my biggest mission before going to really going deep in my personal development. I have as well. I'm married. The husband is work as international in the as an consultant, international consulting in the water area.
Okay.
And I'm talking about him as well because I have really been a spouse, a partner who have been there to impact his own business, to bring him in a level that he can be able one day to support the whole family, the students and myself. So I have reached now the level to know that it's my time to develop myself, to go on my business, to go on my pleasure, what I want to achieve in my life. And I chose to come back in the Comoros where I am from. I left my life abroad. My last job was in Paris, and I was working there, and I decided to come back home to impact the development in my country, to do something that will please me and to do something that will help the community and to help the economy in Comoros to grow up. So I decided to go in agriculture and transformation, so in agribusiness. I most of the time I didn't produce vegetables since almost 6 months because of after COVID. I decided to just really organize myself. If I go back to the road, it will be to have enough equipment and to have really to make an impact of the agriculture area in Comoros. And recently I've been, I received an, how do you say, the World Bank have provided enough money to buy a tractor. So I just bought a new tractor. So I'm about to go back to the road the next month.
Good for you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, that's great.
Thank you. So I just bought the tractor, but at the same time, I wasn't on the field, but I developed the aspect of transformation. I bought enough equipment to open the first factory. I don't know why the camera is not on, because I have some product that I wanted to share actually. So we are settling the first biggest factor for transformation in Comoros. We'll go into syrup, ginger syrup, tomato puree. It will be with fruit juice. And Comoros is such a beautiful country. I hope you one day will come to visit us. And but the issue is that we are a country that didn't develop yet. Everything has to do with factory. We always buy things from abroad, and we live with that. So I want actually to bring this to prove that we can succeed in it's not as big as that, but still I know that the next 2 years I can be able to really make an impact in the transformation area. And I want actually to be the leader, to be the first person that people will notice when it's come to do with agriculture, when it's come to do with transformation. So, and secondly, I just received now, I'm party of the ONUD is, I think ONUD is European Community, who is a partner of BIC Africa. I'm also being supported by them since yesterday. I received 2 international experts coming from Benin Republic. They just arrived in Comoros now to have an impact in my factory. They are really settled in everything to do with the processing, with the rules of transformation, with because it's not actually my area. I'm training myself step by step. So if I want to succeed in that area, I have to have the expert with me. So they just arrived. We have already finished different training, but now they want really to make sure that the product that we're going to put in the market are safe. They can go to the level of international markets. So normally we are planning next month to open the first fabric, the first shop of made in Comoros fabric, fully made in Comoros. I will definitely put some picture on the Facebook page to show you some products, since I cannot have access to the video. And the objective, the mission is really to make sure that we transform in Comoros. We sell in the area, but internationally as well. So the market is there, a place, but I want to build space. I want really to build my company and to make sure that we can really challenge the markets in Tanzania, in Madagascar, and other countries as well. So that's my story. I'm very positive that I'm on the right level, I'm on the right way.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Asna. That's
I hope that we have to that. Yeah. Yes.
That's quite a journey.
Yeah.
And you must be very proud of your kids.
Thank you.
What they've done. Tell me, how do you get to your customer?
Yeah, for now, we make some study in the Comoros. The market is ready now to be open to this product, because everybody knows that having to do with the health now and then we have so many products in the market that they are not really healthy. And we make we have made a lot of study to impact in the Comoros, and the Comoros people are ready to consume such a product. And we have had already 2 or 3 different challenge, like the salon of business. We have already tested our product, and actually we didn't yet open the shop that we have so many. We sell. We have some customer that we provided, but we have also the hotels. 2 of the biggest hotel here that we have already made a partner. They are just waiting for us to serve them actually. So we want also to have the market of the diaspora from those that they come to Comoros, but those that they are also there. We will work with one of the telephony business here to make an application that even if they are abroad, they can order from us for their family living in Comoros, but also for them living abroad.
And how do you package the product, Asna?
We have done. We do all our product. We package them in glass bottles because we want to go in the area of natural juice. We want to work about the health area that is no. We do 0% of plastic for now, and like the coffee, like the jam, like the conserve of fruit, we all put them in a I just share the picture on the WhatsApp group. We all do natural product. We don't add any chemical product, so that means that we have to save our product in a bottle of glass bottle.
Okay. What are the principal products from Comoros? What would you be known for?
I definitely want to be known like Madame Zero, ginger zero. That's what is becoming really famous now. But I want also to do everything have to do with chili sauce.
Yeah.
That's the 2 and juice as well. Pineapple juice, mango juice. So this 4 product will be my main product.
Okay, so, and they're all
at the same time we develop other products.
I mean, ginger is very much considered like a health food. So that has very wide appeal. And if your ingredient for it comes from, if you're getting it at source, then you can probably label it as healthy and organic. Okay, thank you, Asna. I think. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you too.
Now, who have we not had yet?
I think there's still quite a few. I don't know if we'll be able to do them all in the remaining 15 minutes, so we might miss out a couple of stories, sadly. But any ladies who haven't gone yet, feel free to unmute yourself and to share. I think Joyce is one, Hamdi, Inez.
Sandra, we didn't hear from.
Yeah, Hamdi wants to go. Okay, Hamdi, go ahead.
Okay, great. You ready to go ahead, Hamdi? I'm not sure.
Can you hear me?
Yes, that's good now.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
I am Hamdi. I'm so happy to be here today.
Oh, good. And we're happy.
Yeah,
We're happy to have you.
very good. And I'm so happy as well to hear about all these ladies' stories and businesses. It's really inspiring and encouraging. Well, my name is Hamdi, and I am the founder of Chino Fashion and Branding. Chino is a company that
Say it again slowly.
Chino, we do Chino Fashion and Branding Company. That's what it's called.
Okay.
So it does both. Well, we started with branding, and then later on, we added the fashion department where we needed to, produce our own products that we were selling instead of going to another, another business or another seller or another person who doesn't have who doesn't produce what we really wanted. So I thought to myself, why not add this, and then so that you can have the control of the, because I love to be in control. I love really good quality products to put out there. So I said, you do that as well. So anyway, I started the company in 2021, following the craziness of the COVID, where I lost my job and everything happened. And then for a year, I started, researching, learning new skills and all that, because for the last 10 years, I was working with companies, with organizations, humanitarian organizations, companies, and all that. So 2020 came, and then I was not working. I mean, people were losing their jobs, not finding jobs. So it was hard to find a job, and I needed one. So I said, start something. So the first thing that I started with the branding was branded tote bags. And then that was encouraged, that was inspired by the use of plastics, because the government, I'm basically in Hargeisa, Somaliland, sometimes the government bans the use of plastic bags. And then I said, why not find out an alternative, because the government doesn't offer an alternative. They said it's bad for the environment. When people visit Hargeisa, they used to call the plastic on the trees the flowers of Somaliland. That's something they used to say. So they said, we need to do something about this plastic, that's hurting the environment. It's a lot of rubbish and all of that. It's not good for the climate change and all that. So they said, no plastics. But then they didn't, offer a alternative. So that's where I came in the first place. And then I started online, and it kind of grew with the branding, because in about 8 months, I moved out of the house, and then I had a studio where there was a rubber, printing machines and stuff. And then we later grew into full branding stuff. Right now, we work with university students, and we produce university graduation packages for universities and students that are branded, but also in the fashion, because we are sewing and making these products. And then we are also working with organizations, let's say humanitarian organizations, when they want to go into the field, and then they needed branded items, for example, jackets and bags and hats and T-shirts and all of that. That's what we do for them. And everything we do it inside our company, inside our office, where we have the sewing machines, we have the printing machines, we have the people who are sewing and making these products, and people who are designing the logos and stuff that's going to be printed on these items. And then we also later, when these two happened, and September last year, we opened a second office, a second store where it's reachable for most of the people, like individual people that we work with as well, where they can come, have the products, look at the product, see what we have, and then leave their orders and later pick up the orders. And then when that happened last year, and we have all this big space, and then I was like, and a lot of people, a lot of youth that are connected to me through the social media, because I use that a lot. I use that to connect with the younger ones, the university students, the younger generations, people who want individual to come on the office and then see our products. But then mostly they ask me about skill development, like, do you have a job opening, or do you teach people what you use, this kind of skills that you used to make out of the job, or do you teach people, for example, do you teach them how sew or how to cut fabric. And then I had the idea, why not use this space to also, as a skill development center, some sort of that, where people can come and then out of the week, 3 days of the week, we offer classes on fabric designing for these, for these youth who are really in love and want to learn. And then the machines, they use the machines, even if they know before how to sew or how to cut, they come and they use the facility because they don't have these facilities in their homes or in their houses or in other places. And right now we're not renting them, but in the future, I want people to come and rent as a studio where they produce stuff, like produce a line of, a line of t-shirts, a line of sweatbands, and then sell them without, because it's hard for a person who wants to start a business because they don't have the facility, they don't have money, the budget to open something big. But then why not use something that's existing like us? Because we're not using 24/7 of this facility. Why not make use of it and then make it easier for these youth to be able to produce something of their own? So
and
that's where
the tote bags you started out with.
Yes.
Are they from cotton?
Yes, and they were from, what is it called? These reusable, eco-friendly materials that are easier for the when it's worn out and it's used. It's easier for it to break down later on.
Okay, so they're biodegradable.
Yes, exactly.
And how did you finance putting all the equipment together and getting the studio and doing all of that?
Okay, so when I started at home in the beginning, it was around February 2021, where I was aiming for the 17th May, which is the day the country celebrates for gaining the independence. And then what I did was to put on the Somaliland flag on it. So it was a kind of a hit. People really love it. And then we made a really good set. And we were the only ones that are offering that time. So it was kind of, it really bloomed, and it made me able to buy one or actually two small machines, which are one for a heat press and a computer. And then when that happened, there was this accelerator business for women business accelerator is offered by Innovate Ventures, and we were part of that, and we won an investment that year. And then that gave us the ability to open and get more machines, 2 more machines. So that really gave us the boost up to get where we are. And then not only money, but we also knowledge and how to finance, how to manage my finances, how to market, how to, basically it was really a whole package of ideation and marketing and design thinking and finance management. And then later we were the last 15 businesses, but then out of 15, 9 of them won some investments. So we were part of that as well. And we won some investment. We won around $6,000, and then that 6,000 was really good for our to get more machines, and then we spent that two bigger machines, and then embroidery and screen printing machine, 2 of them, and then yes, and then the rest because the rent was covered. I mean, business was covering the rent and stuff and all that. But that machines really brought us variety of what we had. And then also now that we are offering the courses department or side, this is also, we have some income coming from there. So it's kind of covering the stuff, and
how do you get to your customer?
Well, like I said, we use, of course, the social media, but also everywhere. For me, because I was in the humanitarian organizations for the last 2 to 10 years, I have really good relationships and network. So when there is for example, when there's a conference happening and they need a branded bags for that conference, I know I see the advertisement or whatever the flyers that are saying something's happening, and then I immediately go to them and then propose the idea, and really they love it. They love it. The other day we were working with Academy for Peace and Development in Somaliland in Hargeisa. They had a conference. We covered the side of the branding side of that conference, and then right now I know big university is coming. They are organizing a bigger conference, a couple of universities. So we are aiming for that. We are also, I also go to like all the organizations door to door. Like I go to them, I go to their supply chain manager or whoever is in the office. I propose the idea. I take some samples. I take the cards and the flyers, and most of them, wallahi, they say, "Wow, we need this," because most of these humanitarians, they go into the fields. They are dealing with communities, and these communities, it is better for them to have something with their logo, usable, reusable, continuous advertising for them. Continue, let's say they are working to end the FGM, and every day, these women, especially women, when it's related to women, and it is more likely here, the tote bag idea, men are not using it because they think it's for women, in this side of the world. Yeah, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it is for women. Women do most of the shopping. Women do most of the, here and there and stuff. And then this is one item that a woman needs essentially every day. Going to the gym, going to the market, going to the grocery, going to school, going to university, going to work. It is everywhere. It's multi-purpose, and it's everywhere. It's reusable. It's reusable. It's also, resolving this issue of plastic bag, because people are not using the plastics anymore, but also they have the alternative right now, a branded alternative, very, very useful for everybody. So this is how we reach them.
I have to say, Hamdi, I think you're very clever.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
It's a great story, and you covered all the angles and getting other people in to use the machines when they're not in use, and training up younger folk coming up behind you, and just getting out and hustling. I think you're a super entrepreneur.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I really do. And I want there's more. I mean, we want to go to, we are also covering like most of the Somalis where Somalis live. Like we are in Mogadishu, we are in Ethiopia, even the Somali part of Ethiopia. We are partially in Djibouti, but now I want to go to more of the East Africa. Now, December, we are participating Tanzania. In Tanzania, there will be an event of Swahili Fashion Week. This is happening in December. We were invited, I applied it and they accepted us. They actually, yesterday they sent us the email of acceptance. And then later this month, I'm also going to Kenya. And for Kenya, I want to go there for more like research, if there are like businesses that we can collaborate, what's happening there, what's happening in the Horn, what's happening in the East, if there's like opportunities there. I mean, what could happen? I will be there for like a week, and I want to visit the BIC Africa in Kenya. When I'm there, I'm going to 29th of this month. And then I want to go regional first. I want to see what can happen. And then hopefully, inshallah, go international one day.
Super. Thank you so much, Hamdi, and continued success to you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Now, Inez, are you still with us? I can see your logo there. Does Josephine want to? Is Josephine here?
Josephine shared in the chat. She speaks fluent French, and her English is not so great, but she's welcome to jump on. But Eileen, it's also 1:30, so we're meant to wrap up very soon.
Okay.
We won't have time to do all of the stories today. I see that there's probably about 4 or 5 people that I think there's 4 women that still haven't spoken.
Could I make a suggestion? Well, maybe I'll make the suggestion to Danielle after this. If that's okay.
Sure.
So what I was going to suggest was the stories that I've put the websites in there, but they need a bit of explanation going through and the real story behind them. And I would be really happy if you have time in your schedule to go through those and to also pick up any of the ladies who didn't get a chance to speak today. I see Inez is happy to chat. Is that possible, do you think?
We can definitely circulate the websites that you shared in the wrap-up email that Kiara sends afterwards. And yes, any of the women who didn't get a chance to share today, if you want to share your stories, then we can figure out a way to make that happen, whether it's that you record something for us and put it in the WhatsApp group, or you put a video in there. There's definitely ways that you can continue to talk. But Eileen, do you want them to reach out to you individually if they didn't get a chance to chat, or?
Absolutely, I'm happy for that.
Okay, so ladies, those of you who didn't get a chance, I know Sandra, Inez, Okia, Josephine, also I know you put into the chat, but if you want to speak to Eileen further, feel free to reach out to her and do so, so that she can also hear what you're up to and give you some tips and pointers onto how to make your stories even stronger. So Eileen, before we wrap up with just like the final like admin stuff that we do, is there anything else that you wanted to share with the ladies today, or any parting words that you wanted to pass on?
No, I just think I'm just so sorry we didn't. I'm so glad we didn't go near the slides because we wouldn't have got any of this done. It's amazing stuff. Like, some of those stories are just incredible.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to to keep the ladies connected. And I don't know if you have an alumni group for all the cohorts, but I think it would be very useful to do that, because there's a lot of synergy between all these, a lot of synergy between a certain number of the ladies in their businesses. And I think it would just be great if they could connect. I was going to tell the story about Cerrido setting up her academy and stuff like that. That's just really, really is really fantastic. And on the food end of things, I've put in a website there, Food Cloud. The story they tell is really amazing. And I
also had Cerrido join us for the first networking session that we held with this cohort. So Cerrido had an opportunity to share more about her story and the great things that she's up to in Somalia, because she did have many powerful things to pass on to these women. So fortunately, we've already heard from her.
Oh yes, but I mean, some of these stories are just incredible. Really, really.
That's why they're part of this program.
It's amazing. And I think it's really, and congratulations to you for being involved and putting it together. I think it's a super initiative. I'm very happy to be associated with it.
Thanks so much, Eileen. It's been a pleasure to have you here with us. And ladies, I think, just a reminder, like, your stories matter, right? The stories that you've all shared today, they matter. So embrace them, share them, use them when you're talking about your business. Aiden was sharing her story, which was so powerful and one that she hasn't really harnessed enough of, I think. And your clients are going to care about your story. Your potential partners are going to care about your story. Your investors might care about your story if you go down the investment route. So really, use the parts of your story that are powerful, because they do allow people to connect with you in a way that they may not be doing so far, right? Your story is the thing that's going to set you apart from your competition. Someone who's doing something that's the exact same as you when you have a different why, it's going to draw different people into you and make them loyal customers. So really embrace what you have shared already with us today and use that more when you're communicating about yourself and about your business, and even internally with your teams. You know, a lot of the storytelling that you can do is not just external, but inside as well, about getting people on board, motivating them, letting them understand your reason for being, and getting that shared vision across is a really powerful tool as well when you work with your teams. Yeah. So Kiara shared, there's going to be one final coaching session which takes place in September, and that's going to be about pitching. And pitching is different from storytelling somewhat, right? So pitching is definitely more in a way of there's an end result that you're looking for, which is typically investment or partnership. And your story will still be important within that pitch, but there's going to be other pieces of information about your business that are also going to be very important. So that will come at a later date when we come back in September for the final coaching session. We now have a little bit of a break. So we have 2 weeks off before we meet again. So we're not meeting next Tuesday, and we're not meeting the Tuesday after that. Our next session is going to take place on Tuesday, the 8th of August. And that's going to be about product development and market fit. So really taking all of the work that you've already done over these last 2 months and bringing it all together to see, okay, is what I'm offering a great fit for the market? And if not, where do I need to make some adjustments so that I can get more customers, that I can make more sales, and so that I can grow my business? We then have an almost 1 month break because our friends up in Europe like to take the month of August off for an extended holiday while we're all freezing here on the continent, but that's okay, no shame. But we will be back again then from the 5th of September for that final coaching session on pitching. And then we'll have one final networking session to close the entire program on the 12th of September. So reminder, we're not with you for the next 2 weeks, but then we're back again on the 8th of August, and Kiara and the team will send reminders out so that you know that, okay? So thank you all again for joining us today. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. Eileen, thank you for your participation and for getting all of this out of the women, because we haven't really had an opportunity before to hear what they had to say. So without further ado, we'll say goodbye for today, and see you all in a couple weeks' time. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ellen.
You're welcome. Talk soon.
Thank you.